Welcome to the Light Up podcast. I am your host, Amy Wilkinson. I'm an intuitive guide and soul mentor, and through this podcast, you will receive conscious conversations, powerful downloads, and soul-stirring activations that will both support and inspire you to tap into your intuition, follow that higher calling, and live a life aligned with your soul. Because you are here to co-create a life rich in abundance, freedom, and deep joy, and to unleash who you truly came here to be. And we're here to help you discover how to access that. So let's dive on in and light up. Welcome back to the Light Up podcast. Thank you for joining me today. This episode that I'm bringing through is another one that is guided, and it feels like it's something that can speak to many of us, particularly as women. I mean, it really speaks to all of us, but I find in the work that I do with women, this is something that shows up a lot. It's certainly stuff that I've moved through, so we're not holding back today, right? The guidance is to go deep, right into those deep things that are lurking beneath the surface, that's lurking in the subconscious, and that impacts us in a way that can be really debilitating, right? Because as women, we are here to rise up and meet who we truly are and live as that, and to create and share our impact in ways that lights the world up. That's what we're here to do. What many of us have this strong calling in our soul that we know we're here for more. And this cheeky little thing holds us back. I'm sure you can relate to it. I certainly can. So it feels really alive in many of us, in what I'm witnessing, what I'm feeling at the moment. And it is this journey, and at the root of this journey is this feeling of not feeling enough. I'm not enough. Now, maybe you've accessed this within yourself. I certainly did after a lot of digging, and found that right when I got to the bottom, there it was, staring at me right in the face. This feeling or this belief, and often this is a very hidden subconscious belief. But once we can see it and recognize it and name it, it can stop having so much of a hold and power over us. Okay, this feeling, deep feeling, I am not enough as I am. So it's wild, it's old, it's conditional, and quite frankly, it needs to go. Because it's a tragedy the way so many of us operate in the world, the way that we hold ourselves back, or the things that we need to, the ways that we feel like we need to give our power away for external validation in order to start to feel enough. So it's hooked into our societal conditioning. Our external world is reinforcing this feeling that we're not enough, by telling us and bombarding us with all the things that we need to be doing or changing about ourselves, or improving or making ourselves better. So basically to not be who we are. Right? This shows up in many ways, in many feelings, and in many patterns that we see in our life that you might relate to. Right? It might be this feeling of, okay, what do I need to do? Who do I need to become? What do I need to achieve so I can then feel enough? What do I need to do to feel more complete, more whole, more accomplished? What's the scaffolding that I'm putting up via this incessant need to invest in our physical appearance in order to feel more enough, or to cover over the deeper feelings of not being enough as we are? Or maybe it shows up in the ways that we feel like we need to volunteer or give things away, give our time away, undersell ourselves, give to our children or family members in order to then feel like we're doing enough or contributing enough or being a good girl, or being good enough, right? And so this can be really old patterning that when we don't, unless we're shining the spotlight on it, we don't realize the way that it rules us in so many ways. So this is about taking the power back, okay, around this need, this seeking for a level of external validation. If we don't cultivate, if we're not cultivating a healthy internal relationship where we're affirming our inherent value. And this is something that I'm super passionate about supporting my clients to get into this space. And we spoke a little bit about this in the previous episode of the podcast with Ellie as well. Okay. So, looking at, again, how do I fill up my calendar with a wild to-do list so that at the end of the day, I can feel accomplished and worthy if I've at least ticked a number of those items off. We burn ourselves out. We overstimulate. We overschedule ourselves. And then when we achieve and when we do those things, it becomes like a badge of honor. No. We need to rewrite this whole story from an angelic perspective, right? This is what I always come back to, as I'm deeply connected to that world and to my guides, universal perspective, if you prefer. We didn't come here into this world as the beautiful, vast soul that we are. We didn't come here to layer on all of the things in order to finally, at some point, maybe if we're lucky enough, feel whole and complete. But really, it often doesn't come when we're moving from that place, because there's always going to be more that we feel like we need to do or become. And I have seen this in people in my communities that are so gifted, that don't fully understand how worthy they are and how ready they are right now to do the thing that most is calling to them, that's most speaking to their soul. Okay, so in my work around, a lot of what I do is in supporting clients on this journey of manifestation and co-creation. So if we look at it from that perspective for a moment, we have to know firstly that we are energy. Okay, this is science. We are literally vibrational beings. And that secondly, everything is energy. Everything that we see, everything that we can touch is energy. It is just moving at a different frequency in order to create matter, right? And then in order to then attract our desires, create our dreams, we need to get on the frequency, literally get on the same vibration, on the same radio station as those desires, so that we can invite them into our world, right? This is the law of vibration. You can imagine it's like, I don't know whether this metaphor will land, but if you call a friend, if we're calling a friend from our mobile phone, we have to dial in a specific set of digits that puts us on the same frequency as the person, so that we can connect, so that we can have dialogue. So in order to get on that frequency, we need to raise up the vibration of who we are, raise up our vibration. You've probably heard this spoken about quite a lot, right? Raising up our vibration. How do we do that? It's not by doing all the things, ticking off the list, accomplishing, achieving, even just going and getting our nails done and our hair done. Yeah, that can make you feel good. This is not how we raise our vibration. It's just not. So you may achieve all that you want if you keep operating in that way of the doing, but it's hard work. It's likely not really fulfilling you, and it takes time, because we operate in this realm of time when we're in this 3D world. So to raise our vibration, we need to start to get really in tune with and honest with and authentic in who we are being. We create from our beingness. So we need to firstly remember who we are. And in really understanding and accepting that right now in this present moment, we are enough. We are whole. This is the biggest truth bomb to really getting in harmony with what it is that we're wanting to call in. It's by accepting and honoring and appreciating who we are right now as we are, and that we are enough. And how could we possibly think otherwise? Like, honestly, when you think about it, do you look at a newborn baby and think, they're not quite enough. They're not whole enough. They're not complete enough. I mean, most of us wouldn't do that, right? Firstly, because we're kind, but honestly, because we don't. We look at them and we don't think, oh, maybe they'll be enough if they were to do this or put on this outfit or smile in a certain way. Maybe then they'd be enough. No, we don't. We look at them and we think, oh my gosh, they're perfect. They're complete. They're divine. We're often in awe of how amazing they are. But then something happens somewhere along the way. We are conditioned and programmed to believe, and it's an accumulation over our lifetime that gets us into this point, layer upon layer, that suddenly we're not enough. And this, my friends, is the biggest lie. A biggest lie that we adopt in this world, that we are not enough. And the other one, just while we're at it, is that we're separate, right? So we close ourselves off. We feel that we're alone in this world and that we're not enough. Okay? So this work is about remembering. It's not about becoming anything. If anything, it is an unbecoming. It's a peeling away of all of the layers, shedding all the layers so that we can finally see who we really are and be who we are as we are. And this is soul's journey, to remember that and to be that. Because this is the thing that holds us back, and it's deep beneath all of the layers. And from an angelic perspective, what I've tuned into and the practices that I've moved through myself and supported clients to is this. When you give yourself the space to come home, to really meet yourself, we're not taught this in schools, we're not brought up in this way, and to look within and see what needs to be seen and maybe clear what needs to be clear, what keeps you from really knowing and believing that you are whole as you are. And to offer yourself, really offer yourself that love and that validation that you may be seeking outside via X, Y, and Z, via this, that, and the other. You begin to cultivate a really loving, kind, and accepting relationship with yourself just as you are. And that, my friends, is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It's the greatest gift you can give the world, because we need in this world more people to wake up and just see how worthy they are as they are, how whole they are as they are, without needing to do anything else. This is home base. This is 101. And you're going to find that if you can move into this place of authenticity, where you acknowledge that for yourself and where you be that, what springs from there, what births from there is this magnetism. And this is how we raise our vibration, by being in our magnetism and in our authenticity. And when we do that, life responds, because we arrive on a whole new frequency, and it's that frequency that holds everything that we're looking for, our dreams, our desires. But it is not found outside of you. It's not found back in the past. It's certainly not found in the future. It is in this present moment right now. That doesn't mean that you can't be calling in this future version of you, and I feel like that's another podcast that I can riff on then. But first of all, we need to find that acceptance within, because it starts here. There's nothing outside of you that is going to make this shift for you. There is nothing outside of you that's going to make you feel whole. It is such an inside job. Change your energy, change your life. So if your energy is going outside, if your energy is continually looking outward, bring it home into this understanding of who you are and that there is nothing missing. So instead of each day looking out and for the world to tell you who you are so that you can determine your worth and value, can you each day, each and every day, in the same way that you choose your clothes, the clothes that you're going to wear, can you choose your state? Can you choose who you're being? Can you come back home to yourself before you do anything else? So it is so much less about this acquiring and this becoming. And I know that I'm repeating myself here, but this feels really important. It's unbecoming all of the things, the roles, the personalities you thought you needed to be in order to fit molds that you didn't even create for yourself. So this isn't just a once-off. This isn't just something you get to where you get that clarity and then poof, it's gone and it's shifted. This is a process. This is a process that starts from looking within, from at least having that willingness to pause, to slow down, and to do this inner work. Bit by bit, you are developing a healthier relationship with yourself. And often we might need some support and some guidance around that. Sometimes it's really helpful to have someone else to shine the spotlight, to show you what is already there within yourself that's waiting to be revealed and that's waiting to be unleashed into the world. Because we need more women, we need more leaders right now who are prepared to rise up and to claim their worth as they are. And then little by little we find more confidence. But the confidence comes from just having that courage to go within. And if you need some support with this, this is work that I do daily, weekly with the clients that I work with, because it is so important. And once it shifts, it shifts. And once it shifts, you then move into a whole new space where you can really start to move forward. And I love that. And I love witnessing that. And as I said, I have been through this. I am still working through this, still peeling away the layers that I didn't even know were there. It's like, oh wow, I was being that person in that relationship because I felt like I needed to in order to please that person. Or I was playing this role to make somebody else feel a certain way so that I then feel worthy. It's big stuff. So I do emphasize having someone to support you. If that's me, please reach out. I would be very happy to have a conversation with you about this. You can always reach out to me via email. or through Instagram or my website, or otherwise there might be somebody else that's here to support you and guide you and lead you on this path, but it is such a worthy pursuit. So I really hope that this lands, and maybe you've been on this journey and you can offer something. I'd love to hear it if that's the case. If you've been on this journey and you've found something that's really helped you, you're not alone in this. And this is going to be our realizing, for women, realizing, and men, realizing our worthiness, I believe, is what is going to heal the world. I mean, can you imagine a life where people are honoring their worthiness? And by the way, this isn't ego. This is truth. This is coming back to true self that knows they're worthy as they are. Ego is more the projection. This is who I feel like I need to be in order to acquire this, that, and the other, in order to fit in order to feel safe. That's the ego. The real self we just come back home to. It knows what it knows. It knows who we are beyond the physical, beyond the roles we play, beyond our name. And it accepts that. So I really hope that this helps. I felt to bring it through, so I hope it's worthwhile. Have the most amazing rest of your day. And I really hope you can take this away, this loving, gentle reminder that you are so enough just as you are. Love you lots.